Hey guys, John from the John Muir Show here, and the investigation into an alleged racially based attack on a television star is ongoing. Empire star Jussie Smollett had told Chicago police that back in late January on one night, as he was walking back to his apartment, that he was attacked by two individuals, saying that these men were throwing racial slurs at him and homophobic slurs at him. Smollett is a gay man and an African American, and saying that these men beat him, that they tied a noose around his neck, that they dumped some unknown substance on him, and that they yelled, "This is MAGA country," implying that these guys who were attacking him were supporters of President Trump. So you have Chicago police telling us they've been investigating this matter, and even though there are so many surveillance cameras in that area, yet there's not been a single one that has been able to provide any visual proof of this alleged attack. And not to mention, you had Smollett claiming that he was on the phone with someone at the time. Now, both Smollett and this individual he was allegedly on the phone with at the time of this alleged attack, they were refusing to fully turn over their phone records to investigators. And if they had nothing to hide, if everything happened as they say it would, why is it they would be so reluctant? So you know what, no, we don't know all the details here, and quite frankly, this whole thing could have happened as Mr. Smollett is claiming, and if so, we absolutely condemn the actions of the individuals who would do something like this to them, because there's obviously no place for that sort of behavior in our society. However, on the other hand, it could turn out that Mr. Smollett is lying about this, as many believe. There are a lot of folks out there that are saying, okay, the story's been out for a few weeks, still no visual evidence that this happened, no proof that any of this happened, even though there was roughly a dozen investigators on this case at one point, according to the Chicago Police Department. All right, this seems like it might be just another effort to try to demonize Trump supporters, make it seem like they're all just a bunch of intolerant bigots. We don't know all the details, and here on the John Muir Show, as you probably know by now, is we do wait for the facts to come out before we go reaching any conclusions. Sadly, the same cannot be said for so many folks in the fake news media in this country. As soon as the details came out, as soon as they heard nothing but Mr. Smollett's story, right away you had so many in the leftist media coming out and saying, yep, gotta be 100% true, no doubt about it. Yep, he's completely honest in everything he's saying. And again, maybe that's true, but maybe it isn't. But so many in the media aren't even considering the maybe it isn't true part. They're just right away assuming, oh, nope, yep, this guy, yep, we love identity politics, he's black, he's gay. Oh, Trump supporters, yeah, evil, we hate them. So yep, this had to be totally true. Trump supporters attacking the minority guy. And that's what they've been running with out of this entire thing. And you would think at this point that folks in the media would say, okay, you know what, maybe we should hold off until we actually do know for certain what happened one way or the other, especially considering that in 2019, we're only weeks into 2019, and you have already had the media having some major blunders. Keep in mind, you had the media rushing to judgment, assuming that BuzzFeed story that falsely claimed that President Trump directed his former personal lawyer Michael Cohen to lie to Congress, yeah, they assumed right away, oh, yep, totally true, Donald Trump, evil person, impeach him. That's what they were yelling over and over again, and then they were so embarrassed when it turned out, oh yeah, that BuzzFeed story, it was totally false. Bob Mueller and his team said so themselves. And then there was also the case in January about the kids from Covington, Kentucky High School who were in Washington, D.C. for the March for Life, and because a video that showed a small portion of everything that took place in a given encounter, that they saw this small portion of the video and they're like, oh my goodness, these kids who are wearing Make America Great Again hats, they are so terrible. Look how rude they're being to the 60-some-year-old Native American guy, Nathan Phillips. Oh yeah, but then the full video came out, and it turned out that these Covington kids, they did absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, they were the ones being bullied. These kids were being bullied by adults. You had this Nathan Phillips guy who was provoking them, and you also had racist adults in the Black Hebrew Israelite movement going out there and yelling absolutely disgusting racial slurs at them. It turned out that the Covington kids should not have been condemned. They should have been commended for their behavior because they handled it incredibly maturely, and they took the high road. They didn't go responding to the disgusting behavior being levied on them by dishing out disgusting behavior of their own. But nope, right away you always have the media media. If there's an opportunity to demonize President Trump, or there's an opportunity to demonize President Trump's supporters, they are there, and they're not even waiting for the facts to come out. And that is why so many people in this country do not trust the media. And that's why so many people in this country, they are justified for not trusting the media, because the media is no longer a group full of nothing but independent journalists who are seeking the truth and reporting only on the facts. No, it's a bunch of leftists who are pushing a damn agenda. They don't wait for the facts to come out. They just want to report whatever it is that fits their political narrative and their personal desires. That's all it is when you go to so many of these media sources nowadays. It is absolutely disgusting. So I would encourage all of you out there, but when you hear some anti-Trump story about how awful Trump is or about how awful Trump's supporters are, think twice before you believe it, because so many of these stories have turned out to be totally false, nothing more than fictitious hit jobs on the president and conservatives, and it could very well turn out that this whole Jussie Smollett thing is just another in a long line of those incidents. That's all the time that we have for today and for this week. What a great week it has been. President Trump declaring the national emergency. We can enjoy that all weekend long. We're back on Monday, 8:40 a.m. WTAQ, 9 a.m. WSAU and WHBL. Till then, I'm out.